Hi, BookTube friends. This is me, Juan from Just One Reader, and I wanted to come here today and make a casual, short check-in video, sort of giving you an update of what I've been doing and what I've been reading. I haven't been really active lately here on BookTube. I haven't been making the usual content or the usual videos that I enjoy making, like book reviews and book tags and the usual stuff that I have always enjoyed doing. I haven't been doing a lot of that. The only things that I've been filming and uploading recently are my Goldfinch videos and some of my historic materials videos, and those are read-alongs that we are that I'm doing with many others, and so that's pretty much the only thing that I've been able to do to upload recently. But I am reading as much as I can, which is not a lot because I just entered my 4th year in my training process to become a psychoanalyst, and I am in the process of reading an incredible amount of psychoanalytic material. So I am reading a lot for psychoanalysis, and on the side, for my own pleasure, my own reading here for the channel, I am doing what I can. But regardless of that, I just wanted to let you know what I am reading, like, consistently, what I am reading at a very consistent pace. Because I am reading, for example, I am reading a lot about depression, the different types of depression. I am reading about certain processes of the mind that happen at a very early stage, like when the baby's born, and when the baby is like 3 months old or 6 months old, like very early stages of childhood. I am reading a lot about that. But I'm not reading that as consistently as the 2 books that I'm going to mention in this video. So the first one, which is for psychoanalysis, is Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. So this is like one of the most important texts, not just in psychoanalytical literature, but just it's one of the most important texts in history, because basically here Freud shifted or started shifting the idea, the conception of subjectivity and what makes us different to other animals or to other species, and it has to do with certain mental processes like displacement and condensation. And of course, Freud discovered these through dream analysis. So that's why this book is very important, among many other reasons. Now, this book does feel a little dated because it was written 120 years ago. So of course, there are some aspects of this book that feel very much of its time, but the essence of what the book is really about at its core is just incredible, and it is kind of a revelation. So you can see why this book is regarded the way that it is. It is what it is, and it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite of Freud's texts, although here you can clearly see how he is thinking, and he's starting to think about the mind in a different way, and he's starting to come up with little seeds that will later on become the most essential parts or points of his theory. Now, I do have to say, this book is not for everybody. This book, if you've never read psychoanalysis, if you've only read some psychoanalysis, if you have a vague idea of psychoanalytic theory, this book is not for you. This book is very advanced. I am a training psychoanalyst. This is the 2nd time that I've read all of Freud's work, body of work, so I am very familiar with Freud's thinking. I I have been for over 10 years. It's been my life. It's my object of study, psychoanalysis. And even for me, it's not something to be taken lightly. If you are a common person who hasn't read psychoanalytical theory that much, if you read this, you will think this is nonsense, and you will think it's ridiculous. And I can obviously see that. I can obviously see why, because what Freud is saying here makes sense only if you know the later developments in Freudian theory and in psychoanalytical theory beyond Freud. So this is the beginning. And so in order to really understand the beginning, you have to go to what's happening now. In contemporary psychoanalysis, in contemporary interpretation of dreams, the way that dreams are interpreted today, the current modern technique of interpreting dreams with patients, the way that I do it, the way that every other psychoanalyst does it, is somewhat different, or pretty different, to the way that Freud thought of. But of course, he was working things. He was inventing this. This technique, he was inventing it. So in order to understand this, you have to have a lot of baggage. Cultural baggage, psychoanalytical baggage, and experience with patients. If you are not a psychoanalyst and you are not used to working with patients who tell you their dreams and what they think about them, if you don't have that practical baggage, this book is not for you, because it will just sound ridiculous, nonsensical, what Freud is saying. So yeah, I'm really enjoying my seminar that we are taking, analyzing this book. It's very complex, very advanced, but I am very happy. So that's something that I'm reading slowly every week, because it is incredibly advanced, and it's not for the faint of heart. Another book that I'm reading is The Amber Spyglass, which is book number 3 in Historic Materials. This is, of course, the final book in the series. And I was really enjoying it, but then I sort of had to put it down for a week or so, because I had a lot of Freud to read, so I couldn't really keep on reading this at the same pace. And now I am struggling sort of coming back to it and picking up the pace, but I will try to finish this quickly, like within the month of what are we in, September? So hopefully September, I will finish this, and also the Book of Dust, book 1. And then, of course, because I am a very ambitious and probably stupid person, I wanted to start something new. This is mainly because of a buddy read. I was approached by the lovely Medad Sadoun, who is not a booktuber yet. He doesn't create content. You really should. But he is a friend that I've made here online. We've chatted for quite a long time through comments and through Voxer. And he suggested that we read The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and I have never read this. I've never watched the TV show. I have no idea what it's about. I know that it is dystopian, but I have no idea what it's about. I am completely ignorant about The Handmaid's Tale in general, so I'm sort of interested, and I've owned a copy for many years now, so I want to see what the fuss is all about. I can see that the text is distributed in a way that is not very long. It's very, it's sort of broken up into different, like, very small sections, so that hopefully will make for a quicker and not super intense reading experience, because, yeah, I have a lot on my plate. And that's it. That's pretty much what I'm reading at the moment. Every day I have to read Freud. And as I said, I'm also reading a lot about depression. I am reading about narcissism. I am reading about early stages in mental development. I am reading a lot about modern psychoanalysis, which is very cool that I am reading. It's like I'm bookending, like I'm reading the very early stages of Freud, trying to think about dreams and can you find meaning in dreams, or is it just nonsense that comes out at night when we are sleeping, or does it mean something? Can we link it to something else? Can we make use of it in a technical way? So very, very basic principles of psychoanalysis and psychology in general. And then I am also reading very modern stuff about how to treat patients in 2019. So it's like bookending psychoanalytical practice and theory. Very cool. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon with more content. And in the meantime, I am going to sing a little song for you. This is also from the musical Waitress. In my latest video, I sang another song from Waitress, which was What Baking Can Do. But for today, I am gonna sing another one of my favorite songs from that musical, and that is She Used to Be Mine. It's not simple to say that most days I don't recognize me, that these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention's sweet center, but I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She's good, but she lies. She's hard on herself. She's broken and won't ask for help. She's messy, but she's kind. She's lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She's gone, but she used to be mine. And it's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two. For the girl that I knew, who'll be reckless just enough, who'll get hurt, but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by the men who can't love. And then she'll get stuck and be scared of the life that's inside her, growing stronger each day till it finally reminds her to fight just a little and bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone but used to be mine. It's been gone but it used to be mine. but she's kind. She's lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She's gone, but she used to be more.